Okay, the Shield. Yeah, we didn't see. Yeah, the Nexus 3 now call themselves the Shield. The Shield against injustice. And they kind of wear flak jackets. During their heavily hyped promo section, which was taped earlier, with Michael Cole began, I've known you guys for a while. Yeah, because, I always do picture, when I picture Dean Ambrose, I always picture Michael Cole right next to him. Like, all the time. Dean Ambrose did a decent amount of the talking, and he's obviously the talker in this group. I tell the fact that Seth Rollins has just a little bit of a lisp, just a little bit. And then Roman Reigns is kind of the, hey, I'll speak when I have something to say. And then is, yeah, I got something to say. Done. Their promo, while it was great to hear Dean Ambrose talk, it really didn't advance them that much more than, we were sitting at NXT and we saw that things are being done based off a popularity standpoint. It shouldn't be that way. And at the end of the show, they again came to the CM Punk's aid. So there's still kind of a mystery, which somewhat works, but knowing this is the E, they'll probably do something that'll probably kind of mess this group up after a while. I mean, Nexus, when they first showed up, gangbusters. They did an amazing job. They had like that whole summer. And then they let CM Punk they let John Cena destroy them. And then CM Punk took over. And then Randy Orton took them apart one by one. Well, this will be in a group of 3. If they bring in more NXT guys, great. They've got a lot of young talent. This would be a nice way to bring them in. If they keep them as these 3, then I guess they're going to do CM Punk's dirty work for a while. Someone had mentioned it'd be sweet if The Rock actually is one bankrolling them, which would be interesting, but then you have Rock going in as heel against CM Punk. Doesn't make any sense. We began the show with Ryback just demolishing Titus O'Neil. And then he did his absolute best promo work, saying, I ain't leaving this ring till I get CM Punk or those 3 Nexus guys. Vicky came down and said, you can't do that. After it looked like he crippled one of the security guards. He told Vicky to shut up quite a few times, and it was entertaining. Their back and forth was pretty good. And now, for the 3rd time in as many months, CM Punk and Ryback have a match. This time it's a TLC match. And seeing as how Ryback's been put through tables twice in the past 3 weeks, it'll be another way for Ryback to get a mild screwing and then not get the title, since we all know CM Punk's taking on The Rock. Freshly healed Tamina took on the La Parka-esque Alicia Fox and, of course, destroyed her, which one would expect. The Great Khali had a match with Del Rio in the non-squash match. This match went on forever. And ever. And ever. Until finally Del Rio got his cross arm breaker on and got Khali to tap. The fact that it had to do with Hornswoggle hitting on Rosa Mendez, Del Rio being like, Hornswoggle, he's a peasant. It just really just felt kind of bizarre. Like they needed, Del Rio needs to have a match. Okay, who's going to fight against? Khali? Why is he going to fight Khali? Rosa Mendez, Hornswoggle. Kofi Kingston had a really solid match with Tensai. Never thought I'd hear this phrase, really solid match with Tensai. And of course, he got the pinfall on him. Nice back and forth with Wade Barrett on commentary, since Wade Barrett's going to challenge Kofi for the IC title at TLC. Kind of like what he did, was it a little over a year ago? When Kofi's IC champ was feuding with Wade Barrett for the title. Should be a solid match. I'm really looking forward. That should be a really good match. They continue the AJ, John Cena, Vicky Guerrero, Dolph Ziggler thing. Whenever I see the four of them near the ring, I want Teddy Long to come down and be like, I'm making a tag team match, players. Just to have AJ finally fight Vicky, which we know this is going to be headed sooner or later. You know, seeing Dolph take on Cena. Dolph wrestled an amazing match. And even though John is injured with his, meniscus tear, he was still able to hit his finisher and win the match, because that's what John does. John could be in a wheelchair, he could probably still hop to his feet, hit the AA, get a pinfall, and then all of a sudden be miraculously walking again, because he doesn't sell injuries for longer than like 30 seconds. Good match. Ziggler wrestled an amazing match. At the end of the day, he lost to Super Cena. Sheamus took on Antonio Cesaro, and these two guys had a great match. Watching this made me go, Cesaro would probably make a really solid match against Wade Barrett too, with that really physical brawling style. Great back and forth. Sheamus wins by countout. Then Big Show comes down and awkwardly tears apart the chair to show that he can tear apart inanimate objects. I know they got a chairs match at TLC. They more or less blatantly made that obvious at Hell in a Cell. But a really solid match between those two. Damien Sandow had a decent match with Zack Ryder. I like Damien cut a really solid promo, came down, had a nice match. It was good. It's what he needs. He needs that slow build-up to stay relevant now that Cody Rhodes is on the shelf for a while. They did a Raw active poll to see who would take on CM Punk, and your options were Daniel Bryan or Kane. The people chose Kane. Yeah, because we all know Daniel Bryan and CM Punk is an awesome match, which then led Daniel Bryan to fighting Rey Mysterio. And Daniel Bryan continued his ways of losing. He lost the handicap match last week to Big Show, so he loses this match to Rey Mysterio. Decent match, nice back and forth. I liked it. Nice match. And then CM Punk took on Kane. Again, decent match. We've seen CM Punk fight Kane quite a few times. Same with Daniel Bryan. Not bad. CM Punk gets to go to sleep, gets the 3 count. And then the Shield assaults Kane, then Bryan comes down, they assault Bryan, Ryback comes down, Ryback gets a decent offense, including a really great, it looked like Seth Rollins, keep on calling him Tyler Black. Seth Rollins goes to kick Ryback. Ryback grabs his leg, tosses him up for a really nice powerbomb. And then, the numbers game just gets to him. So, decent. Last week's Raw was really good. This one, One of the big complaints now, beyond the recap beforehand, which is just like, John Cena, John Cena, John Cena. Yeah, they probably stole it from TNA. If anything helps out the casual fan, probably also helps out the writers too and the creative team to know what they did last week, to try to continue it the following week. The Shield, I think, is a horrible name. Not quite as bad as the Core, but still a relatively bad name for a group that's supposed to be fighting injustice. But I guess, like the Avengers, Revengers, Justice League, Justice Society, Teen Titans, X-Men. Lots of the really strong names have already been taken. But the Shield just sounds really weird. It just does not seem to have... when you think about it, it's like, coming down to the ring, the Shield. It's not the New World Order. It just, to me, that just kind of, that making it a tape segment. I was hoping the whole thing, they made it a lot better if Dean Ambrose would have, taken a fork and started just, jabbing Michael Cole on the forehead with it, and then like a giant TV-14 appeared over Cole's face. Then, of course, TLC feels like it's going to be another rehash almost entirely of what we saw in Hell in a Cell. That and the soap opera angle is just